The Valley of Velvet Glow. Deep within the heart of the Valley of Velvet Glow lived a tiny creature named Pip. He lived in a hollowed-out pumpkin that smelled of cinnamon and dried clover. As the sun began to hide behind the hills, Pip finished his warm tea and prepared for his nightly walk. The world was turning a soft, dusty blue. Outside his round front door, Pip's best friend Fluff was waiting. Fluff was a sheep made entirely of soft, white clouds that drifted and bobbed as he moved. "Are you ready to help the valley sleep?" Fluff asked, with a gentle bounce. Pip nodded, and together they stepped onto the path of glowing pebbles. They walked through the tall grass, which felt like walking on a giant silk pillow. Every step Fluff took left a little trail of silver mist behind him. The air was cool and smelled like fresh rain and sweet jasmine. Everything in the valley was starting to slow down, moving in a slow, peaceful dance. Pip reached out to touch a lavender bell. These flowers only rang when the world was quiet. When his paw brushed the petal, a low, hummed note drifted through the air. It sounded like a mother's lullaby, and it made Pip's ears droop with a heavy, happy feeling. High up in the whispering oak, they spotted Bubo the owl. Usually, Bubo was awake and alert, but tonight his heavy wings were folded tight against his chest. Pip climbed a nearby branch to bring him a single glowing petal from the lavender bell. Bubo took the petal and let out a long, slow yawn that shook his whole body. He tucked his beak into his soft chest feathers and closed his eyes. The tree seemed to exhale a sigh of relief as its guardian finally settled in for his rest. Further down the path, they met Wingra, a large moth with wings that looked like blue silk. She was fluttering slowly, her wings leaving behind a trail of tiny, sparkling stars. "The night is quiet," Wingra whispered to Pip, her voice like the rustle of dry leaves. Wingra flew over to Fluff and did a gentle loop-de-loop around his head. Each sparkle that landed on Fluff's cloud wool made him feel a little heavier and a little sleepier. Fluff let out a soft "bah" that sounded more like a sigh, his eyes half closing in the starlight. Pip and Fluff continued until they reached the silver stream. This wasn't like other rivers. The water moved as slow as honey and didn't make a sound. It looked like a ribbon of fallen stars draped across the valley floor. Pip knelt down to see his own sleepy reflection. Pip cupped his paws and took a small sip of the silver water. It was cool and sweet. As he drank, he felt a wave of calm wash over him, from the tips of his fuzzy ears all the way down to his round, soft toes. He felt as light as a feather. Fluff stepped into the shallow edge of the stream. The silver water didn't get him wet. Instead, it made his wool shimmer like a pearl. He stood very still, letting the slow current wash away the last of the day's energy, preparing him for a night of deep, fluffy dreams. Near the mossy bank, a small snail named Glitty was moving slowly along a leaf. Glitty didn't move fast, but she didn't need to. She left a trail of shimmering sleep slime behind her that acted like a soft path for anyone who felt lost in the dark. Glitty looked up at Fluff and nodded slowly. "Follow the path home," she hummed. Fluff looked at the glowing trail Glitty left behind and felt a sense of safety. The path showed them exactly where to go, winding through the trees like a ribbon of light. Suddenly, the clouds parted and Luna the moon appeared. She wasn't just a light in the sky. She had a kind, smiling face that looked down on the valley with love. She reached out a long beam of light like a gentle hand to pat the valley. Luna looked down at Pip and sent a special beam of light right to him. It felt warm, like a hug from a friend. "You have done well today, Pip," Luna whispered. The light tickled Pip's nose and made him want to curl up right there on the grass. "The world is tucked in," Luna whispered, her voice sounding like the wind through the leaves. She began to sing a song without words, a melody that wrapped around every tree and every stone like a warm, fuzzy blanket. The stars twinkled in time with her breath. Pip and Fluff turned back toward home, following Glitty's shimmering trail. They didn't need to speak. The silence was comfortable and full of dreams. The shadows of the trees were long and soft, reaching out to wish them a good night. They reached the meadow where Fluff lived. "Good night, Pip," Fluff said, his voice a soft whisper. He floated up a few inches from the ground and settled into a patch of soft moss, looking like a little cloud that had fallen from the sky. Finally, Pip reached his pumpkin home. The lanterns inside were dim, casting a soft orange light through the windows. He felt the cool night air one last time before stepping inside and closing the door behind him with a gentle click. Pip crawled into his tiny bed. He pulled up his quilt, which was stuffed with dried lavender and soft moss. Outside, the valley was silent and still under Luna's watchful eye. Pip closed his eyes, took one deep breath, and drifted into a world of silver streams and white cloud sheep.
Thanks for watching our story. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with your friends and family. Tell us your thoughts in the comments.